Well, salutations, my crack addicts. One day off, but we're back at it now to experience a wee bit more crack. We'll see what ends up happening there. So let's get into the fun. Let's get into the joy. Let's get in to the FM. It's a pleasure to be back. And how are you on this fine, outstanding Thursday? Unfortunately, I wasn't up to it yesterday, but I am here today in order to serenade you with my excellence, to bring you my personal brand of beauty. The incredible joy and the incredible smile I shall have should Chelsea manage to actually beat Tottenham as they are 1-0 up. To see that Enzo Fernandez scored a fairly good goal. To feel slightly unfortunate for one Moise Caicedo who missed his, and then a no goal there for Tottenham from a shot from very far out, with a tackle that will go down in controversial fashion, as it was a tackle in my opinion leading to a foul, coming to the goal, and we'll see what ends up happening. But in even more shocking fashion, ladies, gentlemen and others, Chelsea have done something that nobody would ever believe that could be done. Chelsea have done the single most surprising thing known to humanity. They have played Reece James. For Nicholas Jackson, mind you. But they've played Reece James. Well, we'll find out, Skull. And fascinatingly, we'll find out in the very first match today, my friend. As we go one-on-one versus the monsters. We go one-on-one versus the kings. We go one-on-one versus Barcelona. Eduardo Camavinga not available for that match due to getting a red card 1 minute in. Promptly, I think we deserved a draw in that game. But what can you do? You don't look back, you move forward, and you see what you can end up doing. You hope that you can end up winning. We might be second. Atletico Madrid, because fuck it, goal difference doesn't matter. Atletico Madrid might be first for the moment. But when we face Barcelona, we're going to go with vile venom and vigor, ready to win. We're going to go with the intention of crossing their legs in two. We're going to go with the anticipation, with the power, with the drive to kill. And we're going to go with a cautious mentality because we'll see if that ends up making any difference. God, I've been doing it for well over 6 months now, and I'm still not used to tea without sugar.
It's amazing how strong that song was. Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains.
But in other news, my friend, how has your Thursday been treating you? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Is your crack going to be 90, my friend? Yeah, I agree, to be honest. But unfortunately, my fat ass can't get any fatter. So we need to ensure that my fat ass gets slimmer. And the only way my fat ass gets slimmer is if my fat ass cuts out sugar. And then Atletico draw. That's fucking beautiful. That's actually beautiful. Atletico go and drop points. If we win against Barcelona, we're back up to the position we were in before. So, we don't have you anymore. And stop eating chocolate. You're meant to be Irish, you shouldn't be drinking tea, you should be drinking Guinness. I'll have you know, my friend. I didn't say what whole version of this tea it was. Aka, my friend, how are you? It has been a bit. It's a pleasure to have you back. How is life treating you? Is all going good? We are seeing a current funny situation with Chelsea winning against Tottenham. That is a good situation. I tend to agree. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations, my friend. And considering Skull hasn't done it yet, and to be fair, you have succeeded in an interview. I think it's time that we both demonetize my YouTube and celebrate for you.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar.
Happy out, my friend. Congratulations. It's a pleasure to end up hearing it. And I hope you do end up getting it now. Especially considering things seem to have gone well and you've been informed. It's a pleasure to end up hearing that. That's what I was saying at the time. Take it slow, take it easy, breathe, and everything will end up working out good. You can demonetize me a second time, my friend. And what location are you... Well, again, take this with the caveat of don't answer if you don't feel comfortable. But what location are you hoping to end up getting? I see. Interesting. Okay, so it did that. I don't like having that one up because it makes people think they have to. So we'll remove the sub goal, go back to the subscriber goal. Does that work as well? It's working. I'll look at your chat in a second. Just give me a second. It still says affiliate status because of course it fucking does. And that one still says bits. That one's grand. They need to figure out why this says affiliate status considering I am an affiliate. But whatever, who cares? Anyway, that's future Crack's problem. So, there's an office quite near me in Darlington. Well, darling. Oh, darling! Let's hope you get it there. The other option, I will out myself down at Newcastle or Leeds. Well, to be fair, Newcastle is a nice city, and obviously I'm not from there. I'm from across the pond, but it has been developing itself in the last wee bit. So, you know, it's not the worst option in the world. Would you move if you got Newcastle, or are you stuck to the idea of where you're currently constituted? Okay, so they have Vandenberg Bart playing. God, Aurelio's meant to be injured. Kunde, Ariel, who'd spent a lot of money on his 30. Honestly, we'll see how we end up doing. I was expecting them to be slightly stronger than this. But it's still a strong squad. They have a nasty habit of coming on to us. Now everyone is motivated. So last time we faced them, we beat them. So we're not in the precipice's turn of consistent losses versus these complete and utter irreputable arseholes. So we might have luck. For the first time tonight, I shall ask you to cross your fingers and your toes and any other orifice you might be able to cross, and praise to the Lord, although I won't be listening, that we might end up winning. Both Newcastle and Leeds are drivable, so I would prefer to... Happy out! That's beautiful. Ooh, they're gone for the 4-2-2-2 formation. Okay. We are in the Camp Nou. We are in Barcelona. And in fact, because why the fuck not? Let's watch the full game. This is probably the most important game of the season. I might as well have my sphincter be tightened consistently throughout this game. But a pleasure to end up hearing AK that you're after getting it now. Well, that you hopefully have gotten it, bar any last minute confusions. Not in this season. This is the start of the season. We have just finished the transfer window of this one. But in the last season, this is our third season with Real Madrid now. In the last season, Barcelona were the monsters above monsters. They won the Spanish Cup. They won the Super Spanish Cup. They won the Spanish Premier League. And they won the Champions League. So they literally won absolutely fucking everything. So we'll see how this ends up going. I have no idea what this voice is going to end up being. It's called Octave. Octave, my friends. Octave. As we end up seeing whether or not we can end up beating the mighty Barcelona. Did we get a penalty? Oh no, cheers. Yeah, it does sound like I'm pretending to be Britney Spears, doesn't it? Duck, my friend, how is your Thursday treating you? I'll wait. I still don't have the timer set up, by the way. So I'll wait until I end up thinking 2 minutes is done, or if you tell me to just knock it off. Ooh. Oh, that's mean. That is so fucking mean. But beautiful at the same point of time. Crack, you know with my job I have a small chance to be able to play for a professional team. Yes! You've told me that before. You probably have to go down to the division first to one of the smaller clubs, but you were saying that there's a chance. You know, Grub, just for you. Just for you. Duck turned around and said that he'd set my voice to be double just to remind you, to serenade you with the general awesomeness that is Crack in the Double Fold. Vinny Jr., you useless prick. But, to be fair, I'm better as I am when I am me. You fuck me, Vinny. But anyway, Grub, my friend, how is your Thursday treating you? I'm going to ask every fucking person that comes into this chat how they're going to do until someone actually tells me how they're doing. Nah, I'm kidding. I do it anyway. And of course, we already have had AK turn around and say they're doing very well. But yes. So, Skull, you were saying you could end up getting with a professional team. Is that something that could end up happening soon, or would you need to end up working with the amateur clubs first in order to see whether or not you could end up getting a proper positioning with them? I'm doing a lot better today. Well, I am and I amn't, but I'm doing a lot better today than I was beforehand. I'm in good spirits now that I'm on. It's amazing the difference that coming on to a stream can just boost your mood up incredibly, because I was, unfortunately, a tad bit of a dour bastard when I went into the game, and unfortunately it kicked my arse 10 ways to Sunday. But, you know, well, you can't end up burning it if you don't kick it. I also went out of my way to try and create an emote to surprise those of you that are actual subscribers, only to accidentally draw the fucker too large, and now she won't fucking upload. So, those of you that are in that tier that we're about to get the third crack at something, you're going to have to wait, you poor bastards. Inacho in this game is fucking bonkers. But he is a good player, to be fair to him. I do fear that Arteta is... I know it's the end of the season. I know he needs to rotate a good bit in order to keep the pressure up with Liverpool. But I do fear he might be overloading the youth a bit much, because Ethan has just joined the squad properly there as well and hasn't had his bad game yet. Obviously, Onacho is there and hasn't had his bad game yet. To be fair, Milishkeli has had his bad game, but he's also playing in a position that I found odd. Maybe if you're an Arsenal fan, you'll be able to tell me, is Milishkeli actually a left back? Because I always thought he was a centre defensive midfielder, and yeah, he's been playing in left back for the last wee while and hasn't been doing too bad for them, but that's an awful lot of new players going into a squad that's trying to compete with the champions. That's an insane amount of pressure for those poor bastards, and I very might end up causing stagnation in their growth as a result. Need to get more experience. This is my first year of actually doing it. I don't know how to. I assume have to go amateur, but I don't think amateur clubs would have what I do. Well, then with that being... Okay, with that being the case, Skull, just bloody well, you need to actually give me information on exactly it is you end up doing, but I'd end up putting up posts or putting up related Insta connections on LinkedIn and going that way to see if you can end up going in, or just get an agent. I mean, there is agents for all those type of roles as well when it comes down to football. He's been god-awful for Middlesbrough since he joined us on loan in January, but he scored for us to help us get a comeback against Oxford. And when you say us now, AK, who is it you support again? Let's see if I can see. AK, didn't watch, lucky bastard, new to FM, Swindon Town, but I'm a Middlesbrough fan, that's what it is, fair enough. Oh no, I figured. Although I didn't know that Inacho was on loan to Liverpool. Now, to be fair, why would I? I don't know much about Arsenal. But I didn't know he was on loan at Middlesbrough. But I mean, happy out to you. How is the senior craic doing over there at the moment? I know you're 7th in the table, which is but how that's my practicing of scatting. But how has he been doing with you? No, it's not Joe Inacho. Just after searching up there, it's craic Inacho. Yeah, he's from Seville. The book you're on about, the book that scored for you, is craic Inacho. He's from Seville. It's not the Arsenal one at all. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he's 28 years of age. I know absolutely nothing about it. I thought you were on about Joe. When I was mentioning Arsenal, I thought you were on about Joe Inacho. Because there's another Inacho there. I think he's in their youth. God, I fucking hate when they're doing the pass backs like that. It scares the shite out of me. Sports Performance, the company I work for, it is possible I could get a year for my first year getting paid 20, 40 a year. Isn't bad money, obviously not going to say. Hey, at the end of the day, ask the company and ask your supervisors. I know there's this culture that an awful lot of people seem to think that's out there. And to be fair, if you find that this culture exists, get the fuck out of the job, the place that you have, or that you're in. Most people will help you grow if you have the ambition to grow, because it'll benefit them in the long haul. Most people aren't there to end up being blockades for you. I mean, you'll see the ambitious prick that is a blockade for you, but ask your seniors, because in general, a junior isn't going to take the place of a senior unless the senior is laxed on their laurels, at which point they'll get annoyed at you asking, and you'll know that the prick is a person that's a prick, you know? So always ask the people that are around you how to end up doing it, and the best bit of advice they can end up doing. And do that in every trade you ever go into. God, I'd say that's fun, Duck. What's your budget? 500 quid a year? Like, what actually is the budget for a 10th tier team? As in FC Morocco, you poor bastard. You're going to get 21-0 lost. So inconsistent. When it's going well, they're unbeatable, and when it's not working, it is generally some of the worst football I've seen at the Riverside. Well, that's the weird thing about Carrick. Carrick, I mean, he was around Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was there, which means that his actual managerial experience, like learning from a manager, was Ole. And he would have seen the rough and gruffness of Ferguson, obviously. I wonder if it's a case with him, if he's trying to be their friend too much. This is coming from someone who isn't watching them at the moment, so you'd have more idea than me. But I think that's the problem Solskjaer ends up happening. He creates an amazing mood when he first pops into a spot. And then the mood ends up diminishing when the pressure actually ends up coming in and people end up figuring him out. And then everything ends up falling down because he doesn't have the actual tactical nous to continue on when that ends up happening. Now, to be fair, he's with fucking Besiktas, who are in goddamn Turkey. And, like, he had that good run when he started, but it's been a bit of a mixed bag since. I mean, his last 4 games have been a draw, a loss, a loss in the win, and they're losing at the moment. And a lot of fucking cards happening in the Turkish league. Especially, it's horrible when you lose to a team that has 2 red cards. If I be there long enough, this said after 3-4 years, they put me through a course. That means I be one of the 2 guys in the company when I complete it. Well, that's all that you end up needing to be said. At least you know there's growth progression. But start talking to people in the industry. Find someone who does sports performance and just message them. Like, if you know someone that does it, then Bob's your Uncle Happy out your sound. But find someone that works at one of the maybe not Premier League, but one of the upper clubs that are accompanying and free, and just message them. Ask for advice. They'll end up giving you directions and the whole lot. It is the way to end up improving. It's always fair to ask. You'll probably get ignored, but it's always fair to ask. And we throw away points at the teams near the bottom who just sit and try to snatch one. His interviews on the radio and stuff just irritate me. He says the same thing no matter the result and doesn't. But to be fair, he learned that from Manchester United, because all the past 10 years the United manager say anything to just please the fucking owners. He's learned that from fucking Ollie and Jose and fucking... Although Jose stopped giving a shit towards the end, but like, you know what I mean. Anyways, we are 40 minutes into this. We are still alive versus Barcelona, but we shall have to wait before we find out any more, because it is now time for the advertisement. Also, ladies, gentlemen, and others of any variety, Chelsea have just managed to defeat Tottenham Hotspurs. He is getting sacked, isn't he? He is getting sacked, unfortunately. Poch. He just is. Also, the one thing with that match is it has determined that Inacho is just not good enough. Or Sanchez is just not good enough. Robert Sanchez is just not good enough. He's not good enough as a goalkeeper. Because that goal, it wasn't a goal. It probably could have been a goal if it wasn't for a foul by a fool. Sanchez should have saved that. Definitely should have fucking saved that. So it's another example of the fact that a goalkeeper is badly fucking needed for Chelsea. Lost 9-2. I'll take that. And my goalkeeper got a fucking assist. Let's go. How did he do that? Did he do a Tim Howard where he kicked the ball up the pitch and no one was ready? Or how did he manage to do that one now? I feel due to they're going to pay a course that can cost almost 10-20k to do, I might as well take it, because wait, as I would need the course anyway. I wouldn't, personally, Skull, I wouldn't let that delay me, because ambition will end up leading you to a situation where someone might end up doing that anyway. Now, with that being the case, you're just talking to other people. That doesn't mean you're going to leave. Obviously, you have your situation in play at the moment where they're going to do that in the next 2 or 3 years, but I would still poke and do everything else. And if they turn around and start barking as if you've poked the bear a wee bit too hard, stop and then continue with them and get the fucking job. But I would continue to poke people in a higher position than you and find the best way into it, because football is a clique. Always was a clique, always will be a clique. To get actual proper jobs, you need to know people, so it doesn't do anything wrong for you to stay on the good end of people and actually find out, you know? Fuck you. If you get me. Due to it hard to actually find a job in as someone new into it, very lucky to get someone new into it. Yeah, but that's kind of why I'm saying it. The way I'm mad about it. Again, I can't... Maybe the information I'm giving to you is horse manure. Maybe the information I'm giving to you could be turned out to be a bad fucking idea. But it is what I would end up doing in a position that is as loosey-goosey as that. Find someone who is in any way as communicative talk to them and see how things end up going. In my opinion, this has been a very bad half by both us and them. My goalkeeper just booted it along and their defence parted like Moses in the Red Sea. Just let it bounce and my striker, unchallenged, scored. Speaking of Moses, have any of you seen the trailer for South Park Season 27? Where Moses is returning looking more like Tron than Tron has ever looked like Tron. Or whatever the name that fucking computer looks like, in whatever the name that computer is in Tron. That's going to be a very interesting summer series of South Park. Oh. Yeah. Hey, if you want to feel old, Simpsons is on season 37. I actually think Family Guy has more seasons than South Park now. That's unlucky. Bad timing by Guller. I mean, with South Park, I don't mind it too much. They are actually still being creative with South Park. That's the one good thing about it. Like, I've enjoyed some of these specials that they've ended up doing. Like, I love that the solution to one of the segments was Cartman was so fucking petty that he decides to get fake tits in order to try and get his parents to move, his mother to marry an old white guy who had a crap ton of money. And it just ends up that the silicone in Cartman's tits ends up saving the town when Man Bear Pig is on the hunt. So Silicon ended up saving South Park from Man Bear Pig. Beyblade had a scene where Moses spreaded the Red Seal. That doesn't surprise me all that much, to be honest. God, this has been a disastrously shite performance. Holy shit. We don't make any subs yet. Just hope that Royce isn't able to get them motivated. But Beyblade is... It's not a series I've ever actually watched. It wasn't one of the cartoons when I was young I ever actually got into. And my parent looked at the actual blade and the Beyblade, thought that they were a wee bit too sharp and refused to let me have them. So I was never able to do it that way. Jesus, if you're worried about that, then you'd never watch anything, you useless fucking band of bastards! Yeah. So, shit. Nice touch by Sabazlai, but too slow. He should have hit it on the volley if he could. Anyway, yeah, I know talking is bad. I know a few people that have two people that have been 10 years, and one of them told me getting the name for yourself is hard as a lot of professional sports teams to get a job, so it's massive risk. So you don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, the other option too is to, if you are malleable and mobile enough to it, is to stay out, move from England, go to one of the developing leagues, maybe try and look for it in US or something like that. That's an option as well. Okay, so we need to make a sub. Gay hasn't been performing good enough, so we'll swap Gay with Foston. Vinny with Kang Lee. We'll go with this for now. these 2 subs for now, and we'll make another sub later on. I'm not old enough anyways. The Simpsons and South Park and stuff started before I was born. Again, if you're gonna let that stop you from watching shit, there's a lot of shit you'll never start. Because, like, think of it this way, Marvel and DC both started before you were born, too. In general, it doesn't matter. For an awful lot of that shit, it doesn't matter at all. So I wouldn't let that stop you if that's what you're worried about, AK. But there are genuine reasons not to watch it. So that I don't put this down as me pushing you to actually watch it. There are a lot of reasons not to watch the shit. But I wouldn't let that be one of them. Sabozlai! You useless prick, Sabozlai! It's on cautious. Run with the fucking ball till you're closer. Well, balanced. Shit. Might have to change to attacking. Warren to Boston. Boston. Well, corner at least. Well, that's good. That's good. Fuck. Wasted corner. Bollocks. Just not performing good enough. Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll never mind traveling if it's worth the time. I'd travel 3 hours to work if it was worth the fucking wage to do it. You know? Henrik! Beautiful! We're in the game! Kangley! We're back to equal livings! It was horrible defensive play, horrible work by Bart, but we're 1-1. Can we get more out of this? We need to get more out of this. Okay. I think we might need to sub off Sabozlai. If we're subbing off Sabozlai, we might be best putting Marco there. Kambuala. I don't like Kambuala being on the pitch. He's been subbed on. Kambuala's a really good player. Yes, it's Willie Kumbala too, the former United player. I had him in Crystal Palace. Fuck. So you telling me, Duck, are you telling me that you have, and I'm sorry, I'll end up looking for it. Hopefully this is on Blurp. This has to be on Blurp. If we score in the meantime, I'll be fucking ecstatic. Added? Was it added? Come on. Add. Good. So that should be added there. Good. So what you're telling me, Duck, all of that effort, what you're telling me is what you're going for is nothing more than...
Big meaty man slapping meat. That's what I want.
God, I love Big E. 1 CM, 4 ATB, and essentially 5 forwards, including 2 central targeting forwards and 2 wide ones. That sounds fucking brilliant, to be honest. Oh, that's our side. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you get a chance, watch a goal from Neto Borges, scored for Middlesbrough against Oxford at the weekend. It's bloody beautiful. I shall try to have a look at it. If I ever take the risk and maybe it DW, and make it DW, I won't forget you. DW. Pardon the ignorance, or stupidity. What does DW mean? Typically that would mean don't worry. Oh, I think you mean don't worry, I won't forget you. Okay, that makes sense. I thought DW was the name of what you were going for, or make it big, or make it... thought it was a connotation for something like that, but no, that makes sense. Stop them. Guller. Ooh, is Gavi after getting injured? Oh, please send him off. Please send him off with an injury. It might end up benefiting us. Ooh, that could be good. That could be good. Also, unfortunately, you're wrecked, so I'm gonna take 2 big risks. 2 big risks and hope that they pay off. Okay. Sabotage them, huh? Don't worry, if you get the Liverpool job, then we'll convert Amanda to being a supporter so we can sabotage them both from the inside and the out. Morgan! Fuck. God damn it. I don't mind if this ends as a draw. I just fucking hope they don't score. Or they manage to get a red card. Well, or both. Imagine if they scored an own goal trying to pass it back to Bart and it failed. I've seen some stupid own goals, but it's been a while. K. 70 minutes in, we've 20 minutes left. Wish us some luck now. We've been doing well so far in this game. I'd argue they've been the better team, though. I'd say the stats will end up saying that as well. Foston lost that ball far too easily to Bischoff. Be a red. Okay. Oh, what an interception by Larb. Genuinely, what an interception by Larb. If he didn't get that, we were fucked. And Kangley can't hold it. Shit. Larb saved our ass there. Genuinely saved our ass. Boston. Kangley not able to get the header right. And Bischoff again ahead of Morgan. Just seemed to have more to them, but Enric, hold the fucking ball. 15 minutes left. Can we scour a miracle out of fucking horseshit? Do we risk it in the last 10 minutes and go attacking? Or do we continue with this and see? Well, if you get any who was that too? If you get any big positions anywhere all over the world, remember us. Remember us and give us the free tickets. You get Enric. Shit. He wasn't offside there. That was the goal that we needed. Crying shame. Oh. Who? Kang! Jesus, you shouldn't have been able to get the ball there. Never mind fucking... Oh, god damn it. I know you're not meant to watch the full match, but fuck me. That's insane. I'd be there consistently if I knew someone that had free tickets the whole time, to be honest. I'd probably move to Manchester. No, we're capitulating now. We're capitulating. Jason hasn't had that good of a game either. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we're performing bad. I'm actually semi-tempted with our last sub to swap on Aaron, but I don't think it would make a difference. It might. Having a goalkeeper that's in good form might make a difference. But Jason hasn't performed bad per se today, so it's probably not the right move to do. I think we're better staying as we are at the moment. I think Foston might have been a problem as well. I don't think he's performing good enough. Marco. Oh, god damn it, not able to keep the run. Shit. Okay, at least he's able to get the save. I don't know. We're entering that tricky period now, where it's hard to know what to do. Yeah, well... Unfortunately, a lot of places in football are like that, Duck. Like, there isn't any good big clubs. Unfortunately, any big club you go to, you'll be treated like shite. Can we? What was that, Lee? Burke. Fuck. Yeah, this is gonna end as a draw. Throw in at least. We have one sub left. Changing Guller might end up making the difference. So we'll try it. Warren to Enric. Offside again. And even if he wasn't ready to run. We have the last sub on. Now we have 5 minutes left. At 90 minutes, if it's 1-1, I'm going to change to attacking. Seller. Morgan. Marco. To Lee. Lee to Seller. Seller to Lee. Morgan. Good passing work. Come on, continue on. Is this because we're cautious? Lee. Well, it would be better if you spelt my name right. If it is me that you're talking about, Duck. I'm happy. I ended up spending a bit of today watching, as Big E would say, big meaty men slapping meat. Oh, shit. And then I watched some wrestling. Nah, kid. You're gonna clip me as being unhinged again for that joke. Nobody there. I think we've had a much better second half, but we've still been shit, unfortunately. Okay, we're at 90 minutes now. We're at 90 minutes now. Do we make the change? I think we do. I think we do. Yeah. This could end up leading us to getting a draw or a loss. But fuck it, I think we have to. I think we have to go to attacking mentality. Ugh, Oscar, keep the fucking ball. Okay, can we do something now here in these last 3 minutes? Are they able to replace Nova, by the way? I have no idea who they've subbed. Oh, we kicked it out for them. Fuck. Why did we do that, by the way? Yeah, there has to be some reason that the game done that, but whatever, I'll worry about it later. As long as they don't score. And Novar's back. Noah's back too, so no way for Enric to end up running to get that. Kumbala now. Pedri. Foston's not in the right position, because of course he's not. If Noah scored that fucking goal, if it was Noah that scored the goal there, I would have lost my goddamn mind. Again, a draw isn't a bad result against Barcelona. It's not good, but it's not bad. Imagine if Bart ended up scoring it into the back of his own net. Okay, well, it's ending as it's either this is their last chance. They're either scoring or they're not, or it's ending as a draw. Yeah. So unfortunately, it ended as a draw. With that being said, because of Atletico Madrid's draw, it now puts us in an okay position. Not great, because I don't believe Barcelona have lost. I think Barcelona have only drawn. Now, this is their second draw. So I think that still puts them ahead. Yeah. Shite. Absolutely shite. Absolutely shite. Under the cosh for much of the game and conceding plenty of possession. So yeah, so that's the problem. It's good that we got the draw. It still means Barca are ahead of us. But we could have lost them. And it was Girona that ended up taking the draw off of both of them. So we have to be careful when we meet Girona. 5 draws already. But we have one more go versus Barcelona later on in the season. And we need to make sure that we're good for that one. But I am furious with that performance. It was shocking. Still, you can only take what's put in front of you. You can only win based of what you end up getting. So we see how that ends up going. Anywho, Duck, you're saying your preseason has been mixed thus far. Expand on that one. What has been mixed about your season thus far? Didn't get the chance to do what I was planning. You needed to win or lose. Well, you know, it has a special place in my heart being able to stop you from being able to do it. Now, to be fair, if I had won, I was going to end up doing something special. But I mean, at the same point in time, I can still end up using what is my favorite theme song WWE has ever ended up doing. If it didn't just fucking vanish on me. I did. Ay, 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 ay. Didn't add. What the fuck? I mean, I didn't click add for fucking shits and giggles. I mean, is it still not added? Should be there. Also, by the way, advertisement time. Yeah, okay. I was gonna end up doing this.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better.
If I had won, I was gonna do that. Might as well do it with a draw, because it is better than the loss versus Atletico. I assume you know what I plan to do if you lost. I'm guessing it was going to be the world's smallest violin. If I was a betting man. Also, what's the shh about there, Duck? Was it too loud for you? Don't worry, Duck. I can do the wrestling talk without any of them being here. Getting sacked in the morning, yeah. We have a nice little collection of them. At some point I'll end up adding other ones that are, like, not on Twitch. I know an awful lot of places end up doing just, you know, like what we end up doing for the shout-out. Like, you can end up doing them as well. You know, exclamation point, and then do a command and it pops up shit. At some point, I want to end up adding crap like that. I need to figure out ways of doing it, like potentially end up working with the screen's light fixtures, making me black and white, turning the screen upside down, yada, 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 shite like that. You know, giving you the options to potentially end up allowing you to end up changing it from my incredibly ugly mug being on the screen to being the greatest animal ever invented, also known as the axolotl. Or for a bit we end up looking at Duck's severest sensation of being FM'd. Or we end up reminding myself of the horrible time relegated. Or we end up looking at the incredible situation that is Senior Dustin the Turkey. Or we can remember that reality is illusion caused by lack of alcohol. There are plenty of things that we can end up doing. I did. It's an interesting formation. The big thing with targeted forwards, you said you were doing the 10th division. The big thing with targeted forwards is how does that work in the 10th division, considering they don't really play in that as specialized forwards. You just plonk them as a forward and see how they do, more or less. She's getting one. She'll get one. I don't know what she's going to end up getting, Liv. But she's going to end up getting one. Alexa's not a bad idea. I assume something is going to happen with Raquel Rodriguez and they're going to end up doing a tag team match, considering she is the holder of the tag team championships. I will say the images of herself and Dominic in the Indian attire was fucking gorgeous. That was some fantastic images. To alcohol, the cause and solution of all life's problems. Cheers! The holiest of holy water is the alcohol. But of course, we have to remember too, there is nothing in life, nothing, absolutely nothing in life better than tea. And of course, that tea is, of course, tequila. I genuinely don't want to play Eduardo in this game. You can go and fuck off. Go and jump a ditch for all I care. Genuinely, I've no interest in playing Eduardo in this game. I'm kind of saddened that I don't have Carlos here. But I guess we'll play Kang Lee. I'll look at your message in a second, just deciding who I'm going to play here first. And Helico, Sedo, Ymir can't play. So yeah, we'll go and we'll do that. We shall put Edmund here. And Boston here. And Warren is dead tired, so we'll take Warren off, put you there, and put Almar here. Oh, he's still here anyway. Never mind. Almar can play up there. Cool. So this is the team we're going to go with. Might be risky putting him up front, but we'll see what ends up happening. Oh, don't worry. I could definitely handle it. It's just unfortunate that there definitely be people in the splash zone. Oh my god, we have someone on YouTube. How are things, my friend? It is a pleasure to have you here, two bros. All is going well. And yourself, how are things? This is a Football Manager save here. We're currently with Real Madrid, enjoying the life now, about to go into our third Champions League game in this season with Real Madrid. You just missed a bore, but a classic at the same point in time, where we drew with Barcelona after an unfortunate loss in the last stream to Atletico Madrid, after Eduardo Camavinga 1 minute in the game decided to get his ass sent off. But with that being the case, the monsters are still within our like, which is Barcelona, the winners of absolutely everything last season. We're tight up front at the moment with a 9-1-1 versus their 8-2-2 and Atletico's 9-1-1. But we'll continue to see how things are going. we are still, our goal this season is to stop Barcelona somewhere. Hopefully the league. But if I was a betting man, I would assume you're probably Duck. Oh boy, my friend, how are you doing? It is a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Is life treating you well? How is your Thursday going? You missed a draw versus the mighty Barcelona. Ooh. Skull. Two bros. If you're one of the ones in Twitch. Or is it the boy that's just after coming in? I have officially made the switch to PC FM. You are lucky, my friend. That means you can end up going and getting the skin. Which, by the way, if you want the skin, go there. You can look for variants of skins. There are some gorgeous variants there, and it even tells you how to install them. It's a good old time. I highly, highly recommend it. Oh, don't worry. Hey, if you have what you have, you have what you need. That's all. I'm just trying to be as helpful as possible to make sure that FM is to your enjoyment. I had to attempt a April Fool's prank on you. What? Oh, it was you, Skull. Figured. Not too bad. I have no problem anyway. I'm happy to end up having anyone end up coming in on either the YouTube or the Twitch. Obviously, I get more people on the Twitch. And eventually, I'll actually bother to make actual content for YouTube. I just don't know how to do any video editing and haven't had the time to do any of that stuff. Like, I'd love to go live after a Raw or SmackDown and give my opinions of it. But we'll see what ends up happening. But boys, my friend, or crazy, my friend, or is my friend, or that, my friend, how was your Thursday? I mean, to be fair, the lives are up there. Give it time. I do plan on doing more stuff. Fun. I do plan in the future doing some actual short form YouTube content, so we'll see how that ends up going in the future. I uploaded the shorts, although I haven't done it in a bit, onto YouTube. I mean, it could do what Benny ended up doing, just ensuring that I don't actually curse, and then do 2 or 3 episodes per stream and post them up as XY of the time on the YouTube and do some editing and post them up there. But we'll see. Again, in the future, if all goes well and I actually figure out some bits and bobs, I am uploading them onto TikTok as well. Crack Attack Central on TikTok. I actually get some okay views on it. I just haven't done any of the latest ones because I need to do a wee bit of work on them, and I haven't done it. I know it's a you know, it's really funny, Duck. I've gotten better. If you'd believe it, I've gotten better. I used to spew effluvia, diarrhea, excremental expletives all over the goddamn place as much as I could, which is the reason why I talk like I'm a fucking scholar at some points, because I need to end up thinking about large words so I don't accidentally add a fuck to the simple word. Oh no, I know I can. I just haven't done it yet. Like, to give you an example, and do I have it downloaded? You'll have to give me a second. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, bear with us a minute.
You're a goofy goober. We're all goofy goobers.
God, I love that movie. Shit, what's going on here, Cracked? Sorry, give us a moment. Let's look at what people are saying first. You could do reviews using that. Well, not chucking a pig out of the chopper don't count, by the way. As I live with my family, I have to wear headphones when I go to the stream every single time. You poor bastard. Imagine if I made it even worse for you and just started going, BASTARD! I don't know if this will play the audio, but fuck it, we'll see. So yeah, I had this as an idea. No, it didn't play the audio. I don't think it did. Maybe it did. I don't know. Can you hear the audio of it? It's tame enough. Yeah, that was back when I actually planned on doing a video content when I was over in Thailand. But yeah. Anyway, fucking. That was my schmuck. And give opinions what you think might happen and could do football reviews and all that. Yeah, I mean, do more hot takes and more opinions like that. I mean, I was doing that when I was over in Thailand because the Raws were on at 8 a.m. and I was able to watch them while running around. The Raw, SmackDown, NXT, stuff like that, and it made it incredibly easy to do all of that type of stuff. The fact that the segments are at 1 o'clock means I need to watch the show later on. And it means, unfortunately, I have to watch the shows the day after. And no one really wants reviews that aren't the day of.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
I downloaded a tactical. I mean, they genuinely are. But there's nothing wrong with it. It gives you an idea of it gives you an idea of how to learn and how to build your own one. Like, this one's my one, but at the same point in time, it's something good. So, Amanda, you say that you're home, and that's perfectly sound, but I say you're even better than being home. I say, where the fuck is it, Crack? Oh, God damn it. I literally played the fucker. God damn it. Whatever. Fuck it, I'll resave it so I can play the prick. I say that you're low. Twitch, you are the biggest annoyance in the fucking hole, making me try to be coy and nice. Oh, okay, that's why. Because I'm a twat. And come to here. Edit. No. Put that down to that. Save that. That's why it wouldn't show up for me, because I'm an idiot. I would assume it's doing the same thing for this one. It is indeed. Go and click that and press that. Bob, your uncle had me out. That now ends up meaning that, yes, of course, you're home, but you're also...
And and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better.
Yeah, sorry. When Crack actually plans on doing shit, and he'll go the entire way to doing it, hell be damned to the actual flow structure of the stream. So if you convince me to do Crack and my... That's wonderful. I have a load of white screens just coming up here. My browser is after crashing. Bear with me, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Bear with me while everything loads again after it crashed 10 ways to shy. Thanks, Amanda. Me trying to be cute crashed the entirety of me goddamn system. But no, boy, never feel bad about downloading tactics. It's always a bit of fun. It gives you an idea and you're able to end up going from there. Create shit, like Duck ended up sending up a tactic there of random nonsense and see how that ends up working. You became Moses, Duck, is what basically ended up happening. But of course, Amanda, there's nothing better than... We were talking about it early on, we were talking about what the best thing in the world is. And maybe you won't agree, but I certainly agree that the best thing in the world is...
Big meaty man slapping meat. That's what I want.
Did that play? Yes, of course, my audio feedback isn't working because the fucking stream crashed. God, even though out of all of the ones I do, I joke with Skull every day that Here Comes the Money demonetizes the stream. And it does, to be fair. Here Comes the Money demonetizes the stream. However, I get a message immediately upon playing of that. Like, immediately a message there it is. Immediately a message comes in to the email stating that it's gotten demonetized off of that fucker. I genuinely don't care. I'm not making. I barely get 2 views in the fucking YouTube stream. I don't care. I just enjoy having it there in case it ends up widening the expansion of anyone and gets a few people in. I'd be doing TikTok live if that TikTok Studios wasn't the biggest pain in the motherfucking arse ever. Because I wanted to be fancy and keep this same structural look, you know, with being able to do random shite like, you know, pop up these when I needed to, or change it to that when I needed to. And unfortunately on TikTok Live, it's a pain in the arse because the size differential is all different and I need to create custom graphics and TikTok is a pain. Yeah, but then I have to set up a third fucking stand for my phone like this. And I use my phone while I'm doing this. But there is actual TikTok Live Studio. It's a horrible, horrible application. If you've ever looked at it, it's a horrible, horrible application. Oh, yeah. Now, to be fair, it isn't a strike. It's a warning. It'd be a strike if it was a bigger fucking, if it was a bigger fucking clip. In this particular case, they're just turning around stating that it's been striked. Go mobile gaming. Let it stream through this app. Huh? You can do it through your phone. Go mobile gaming. Let it stream through app. So, like, can you connect it up to Twitch and do it that way? I'll have to search that up because I haven't. By the way, I was wondering what the fuck is going on. Idiot. I have to figure it out later on, but yeah. Why? Why, Amanda? Why, my dear? Why do you feel like you're going to explode? If you know how to do it, Skull, at some point in time, I might end up going onto the Discord with you and figuring out how to do it, to be honest. Ah, there's the goal. I was wondering where that was coming. We need you around to screw Liverpool, Amanda. Crypto ends up working well, bro. I promise. It ends up working fantastically, bro. You can pay all your bills off with crypto, bro. I mean, you actually can, funnily enough. That's not the point. I joke about it, but I actually have some investments in cryptocurrency, so I can't actually. It's hypocritical in the extreme for me to actually state anything weird about it. Anyway. Fish soup. I know how you can sort that out. Oh, I had some fish soup, then a vegetable chow mein, and like 7 pints of tiger. Too much in me belly. Calm yourself, crack. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Okay. How did vegetable chow mein? What would be in the vegetable chow mein? To be fair, I don't even know what's in regular chow mein, so. Rodrigo. We sold him to fucking Chelsea at one point in time. Also, tiger. What made you pick tiger? Pick a proper drink, for Christ's sake. Go for some gorgeous tea, Ela. I'll perform a grand in this game, so that's good at least. Oh no, I know, I've had it before. I've had Tiger before. It isn't actually bad. An awful lot of people end up recommending it on par with the likes of Foster's or Blue Eye or Tens like that. But I'm only pulling the piss with you anyway. But despises Guinness. Duck. I mean this. I mean this with all the love in the world. But I'm sorry you had to go through that child abuse. I'm sorry you had to go through life knowing that your father was an uncultured swine. I'm sorry that you had to end up going through life knowing such a deplorable aspect about your father. I'm so sorry for you. Know that we are here for you during this difficult time, whilst you get over the disappointment of knowing such an incredibly horrible fact. But we're here for you, my friend. Where'd you have it? By the way, Amanda, when you were in Dublin, where'd you end up having it? You're gonna end up telling us you had it in Temple Bar. Which, to be fair, isn't a bad spot to have the Guinness, other than the fact that it charges you fucking 2 times the price it should be. Dominic Szoboszlai turned out to be an actually very good signing for us. Also, we're 70 minutes into this game. I should be making some fucking subs. I feel sorry for Almar. He didn't actually do anything. Okay, on. Benjamin needs a sub, so we'll do that. It's also time to pause, because once again, it is advertisement time, my friends. Bet she did the Guinness tour and had there. You know, funnily enough, I've never actually done the Guinness tour. It's something I need to do at some point in time. God, I can't remember. We went to a random ass pub out of the center. Gentleman's Moustache. Your favorite place is the Gentleman's Moustache. Moustache, 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 moustache. To anyone that knows that reference, fair play to you. You get an internet cookie. Anyway, the advertisement is now finished. So we can indeed put everything back and remind ourselves, of course, there is nothing better than... Oh god, I love DBZ, eh? Every pint went down below the logo on the first drink. Happy out, that's the best way to be. My neighbour in Townwa, the shortest and longest pub name in the UK. Interesting. 2 pubs with world records for the longest and shortest name in the world stand just 50 yards apart. The old 13th Cheshire Ashley Volunteer Rifleman Corps Inn stands almost side by side with the queue. You forgot to post what, Benny? You forgot to post what? We need to know. The suspense is killing us, my friend. I mean, you knew it was coming, Benny. You knew it was coming. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a big deal about someone coming into the chat. So, Benkeridge, my good friend, how has your Thursday treated you? Have you gotten up to much mischief? Has the crack been treating you 90? Did you need to go into the motherfucking office today? How has the life been treating you? We have added about 4 fucking blurps into the chat because why not? And my favourite blurp has been added in now because my favourite wrestling phrase of all time is there, and for the 3rd motherfucking time today, I shall indeed explain to everyone that the best thing in the world is
Big meaty man slapping meat. That's what I want.
I will never, ever get tired of that. I love the blurp at that. You can add Irish, then I drink every day, and not to be called alcoholic, as is the norm in Irish. I mean, you're only doing what God has asked you to do, is to drink the holy water. I mean, bitch, you think this is water. This is all vodka. The Russians are going to take over the world. I might as well end up having a head start and drinking the vodka. Shut up, Skull. I didn't want them to know I was trying to be healthy. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal in Ireland to drink gin without it being in a big fuck me off goblet. I've yet to be given a good reason why gin companies think it's a good idea to give someone a goblet that fucking size filled to the brim with berries before you end up drinking the fucking gin. Especially considering most gins are infused with the goddamn berry they want you to end up having anyway. Have you been to Russia, Amanda? Jesus, what the fuck did Hubert do that he got a 3-match ban? I have been playing you, you dick. Fuck off, Merkel. Once to St. Petersburg, then next month I go to Moscow. Gin, give better, bigger glasses than wine. Has the 350 ml in it. I doubt it'll hit the fucking capital though of Moscow. Skull. It is somewhere I'd want to go at some point in time. China and fuck me, I'd let it go. Calm your tits. China and Russia at some point in time I want to end up visiting. I still love, and to be fair, I know it's a complete like stereotypical showcase of it. Back in the day in the PS2, I used to play Tony Hawk's Underground. I loved that game with a passion. In fact, I might stream it at some point. But I loved that game. Absolutely loved that game. And one of the actual areas you went to when you wanted to rebuild your career was in fact Moscow, Russia, where one of the things they wanted you to do was grind on a tank, which of course is illegal in Russia. So you needed to figure out a way to hide the whatever the name of the guards are there, to convince them to go away so that you could in fact ollie the goddamn tank. You actually did at one point in time have to break into the Russian building and the whole lot. It actually is a bit of an unhinged fucking segment when you think about it. Yeah, we can't be losing you now, Amanda. You're too integral to the fun and the crack that ends up being happening here. We can't end up losing you now. I don't think it was. Well, they didn't. They definitely didn't mention it as the Kremlin. So whether or not it was meant to be the Kremlin, I can't tell you. But they definitely didn't mention it as the Kremlin. And I don't know enough about Russia to be able to tell you whether or not it was in fact meant to be the Kremlin. So, like, you maybe have a look at it yourself and figure it out. But I just adored that particular segment. But I adore that game in general. Skull, my friend, thank you so much for coming in. Just for yourselves, too. I will be on tomorrow. What I'm going to do, Evan's afraid I haven't a clue. I want to, at some point in time, start Baldur's Gate 3. I might do that tomorrow, but we'll see, because I fear that if I start that game, I ain't going to stop that game. But something will be on tomorrow, of some description, at some time, once I finish working into the game. So until then, my friend, make sure the crack is 90. Shalom, go full, and remember, most importantly of all, Pog Mahone. I still don't know how to say the name of the expletive that I think it was Gwidja ended up given to me one of the days in it's meant to be a very good game. You gave me an Irish expletive, I just don't know how to pronounce it. It's meant to be a very, very, very good game. I haven't played it yet, and I have no intention of buying it. It's 28 game. Bossy, that's what it was. I haven't played it yet. I might end up buying it in the future because it seems like it might be worth the purchase. But won't be in the immediate future, I'll tell you that. Duck, in the same vein, and I will do this again, even though I just done it. Thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure to have you. Make sure your crack is 90. Shalom, Gafol, and of course, Pog Mahone. Honestly, I might make that image into an emote. I mean, Amanda, it does seem to have gotten a kind of Among Us popularity to it in the last wee bit, hasn't it? Bollocks. I haven't. I actually, funnily enough, even though it is as big as it is, and a couple of streamers that I end up having a gawk at every now and again have played it, I haven't actually seen a single minute of gameplay of the game. I'm in no way big enough to be anywhere near, or even within his aura or atmosphere. But I'd love to end up talking to the Irish YouTuber at some point, Sergeant Duck, and getting on to a podcast with him or talking with him or something like that. Some of the Irish YouTubers or Twitch streamers I'd love to get talking to, get a bit of their advice, rob information off of them, and end up figuring out how to grow. Maybe if the communicator or anything like that end up doing it. But I'm also a fanboy when it comes down to specifically Duck. He released a video there, and although the topic isn't that interesting to end up going about and isn't one of his better videos, it's actually still a very good video. Like the ceiling isn't high enough to give longevity. It's hard to know, to be honest, on what'll end up giving longevity, because Among Us is still getting longevity now, and everyone thought that game would die out. It does depend incredibly on what you do to help the fan base. Now, for Among Us, it has helped an insane amount that specifically the Sidemen boys and everyone associated with them love that game with a fucking passion and continue to play it even now. Which is the reason why the likes of Fall Guys ended up falling off. But Fall Guys didn't do itself any favors or anything like that either. Among Us is a very interesting situation because as opposed to developing more maps or developing more situations, they worked on making the VR version. And now they're supposedly meant to be working on Among Us 2, which is really interesting and odd, to be honest. But fair play to them. Have you played it yourself, Amanda? Schedule 1. I do love, too, that, again, and none of us know the numbers, but I do love, too, that in terms of just Steam statistics, that game is walloping Assassin's Creed Shadows into the goddamn ground. It's lovely to see an indie do a power play versus a big company such as that. And they didn't even mean to do the power play. Fuck off. I have not. I don't know. I fell out of motivation to play games and more watching. That's unfortunate because, I understand it. I do really understand it, but it is unfortunate because they're just when you're properly ingrained into a game, there's nothing like it. It's like when you get ingrained into a good horror movie, you get ingrained into a good romance. There's nothing like it in a game where it's in your hands and you just... everything ends up coming into it, so I 100% understand it. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have played 0 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima, but that has to do with the fact that I haven't bought it on Steam and I didn't have a PS4 at the time. And I also, as much... I don't particularly give that much of a shit about it. But I do, in general, disagree with the... Marco, you should have scored that. Disagree with the practices that Sony have ended up doing with... is it Hellblade 2 or whatever, with their games basically. If you look at Sony published games, and I fucking love God of War. I love it. I bought the original God of War on PC the day it came out because I loved the way that game ended up coming out, and I played a bit of Ragnarok. But I refuse to buy Ragnarok at the moment because, legally speaking, you have to own, even though you don't have to set it up now because they put it in place, you have to own a PlayStation account in order to play Ragnarok. Now, I have that, so I don't need to worry. I have a PlayStation account because I had a PS3, so I have that account set up. But because of that practice, it means that in I think it's 112 countries in the world, legally speaking, you're not allowed to play God of War Ragnarok. If you do, they can end up stripping your account off of you, and they can contact Steam to get them to do it as well. And just because of that, in of itself, I don't want to give them the time, to be honest. Ragnarok it's slow start, to be fair. Even though you end up getting a fantastic boss fight, it is a slow start. It's not as good of a start as the first one either, in my opinion. Although we'll see what ends up happening because they're releasing the remaster now, considering I think it's 20-year anniversary. It's either the 20-year or the 23rd year anniversary. I'm not 100% sure, but they're supposedly meant to be releasing a remaster of the first 3 God of War games. So we'll see what ends up happening there. That'll be interessante, as they end up saying. Although I do also find it really funny that the actor who plays Kratos in those first 3 games is insanely salty about Kratos in the newer games. Now, that could be the fact that he isn't brought back to be the voice of Kratos in the newer games. It probably has a large part to do with it. But he's incredibly salty because Kratos isn't just a mindless killing machine like he was in the 7 God of War games that he voiced him in. Because Kratos was just a mindless monster in a lot of those games, except for Chains of Olympus, funnily enough, on the PSP, where I think it was Chains of Olympus. I think Chains of Olympus was the one where I think it was Hera. Used his daughter as bargaining chip. It's been so long since I played that fucking game, and I get the Greek gods mixed up all the time when it comes down to that series. But I think it was Hera that ended up using his daughter as a bargaining chip, and basically he needs to choose to leave his daughter in Purgatory, or Ulysses, or whatever the fuck it's called. It is Purgatory, but there's a Greek name for it, in order to save the world. It's a very good game. It's a very, very good game. And the extra abilities they put into the game, and that's all I'll end up saying about them in case you don't know about them, help incredibly as well. They add insanely to the game to complement the Blades of Chaos and the Leviathan Axe. They are an incredible accoutrement to that game. Incredible accoutrement. I mean, funnily enough, Benny, it does. You can end up looking at Freya, and Freya has incredible assets. Simus, you are a god! Thank you so much. I'm almost tempted to go back into the quote that I said in your stream and say it directly in live person, but I'm lazy and can't be arsed. But thank you so much for the raid. I'm so glad to see that it went fantastic for you. Please, the people that are here originally, go and follow Simus. Simus, one of the best to do it. got to him thanks to the wonderful Dolphin as well, who if he's in the chat, I'll give a shout out to as well. And of course the Phoenix herself, Izzy. The lot of them are fantastic and deserve their praise. But thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I do this to absolutely everyone that comes in and decides to chat. So there's going to be at least 5 of these. Simus, and by the way, good. If I butcher your name, do berate me. Simus, Ultador, Top Lane Monkey, and Ember of First Dynasty. How is your Thursday going? Is the crack 90? Have you gotten up to much? I wait. We have just been discussing certain elements of how things are going. Earlier on, we ended up talking about tea, although that was a different stream. We ended up talking about tea and what was the best tea. Of course, to me, it is, of course, nothing better than Ireland's own berries, but that can cause a civil war if you're from Ireland, so we'll end up getting rid of that. Today, we are playing as Real Madrid, and it isn't going too bad. We have managed to win 3 games, and we drew versus the monsters that we've ended up going up against, but it's all going well. For any of you that haven't seen the fantastic game of Football Manager before, I welcome you to end up doing it. If you're into the sport at all, definitely give this a hurl in of itself, and the community here on Twitch is one of the best you can end up having as well. Barcelona fumbled. The monsters capitulated. Oh, goody. I am so happy. Thank you, Simus. I'm going to give this good luck to you. To give perspective for those of you that just come in and care, this is my 3rd season with Real Madrid. Okay? In my first season, Atletico Madrid, the monsters that they are, ended up walloping us multiple times, and Barcelona ended up walloping us, and Barcelona got first in the league, Atletico second, and us third. Last season, Barcelona ended up winning the league with 105 points. We were on 103. Barcelona conceded 11 goals. 11 goals in the league. They won the Spanish Cup, the Super Spanish Cup, the Spanish Premier League, and the motherfucking Champions Leagues. So they won everything. So to see the monsters start to capitulate and get to a position now where we are guaranteed to be ahead of them for a small period of time thanks to our draw versus them is beautiful. They are now on equal points to us. Thank you so much, Simus. It is a pleasure. Have a good sleep. Remember to make sure that your crack is 90. Shlán go fóill, my friend. And as always, Pog Mahone. Ultador, 4 a.m. Nice. If you want, I can lower down my voice and end up giving you the tranquil musings of brilliance in order to bring you to full sleepness. But thank you so much for coming in. Patrick Mahomes. I actually don't get that reference, Benny. Oh, American quarterback. Fair enough. He's 29. Jesus. Anyway, what was really funny about that was after that game, I actually was going to finish up, but I always end up stating that I'll continue on at least a half an hour after someone ends up raiding me. So you're getting me for at least a half an hour as a result of that. Thankfully, my day isn't so tightly figured out that that's the case anyway. Is the KC quarterback? I'm being a dick because you say Pog Mahom. Yes. Pog Mahom, by the way, obviously it says it on the thing, but it does end up meaning kiss my arse. And that's the direct translation of it. But in Irish colloquial terms, if you were to use it to an Irish person, it effectively ends up meaning fuck off. But I just like the way it sounds, and it is a bit cute, I think. And thankfully, no one's been offended about it yet. So. Amanda, no bother whatsoever. It is a pleasure to have you back. How did the dog end up going? Was it all okay? By the way, as for any of you that are in Simus's that were in Simus's stream and feel like talking, and by the way, completely ignore me if you want to, and just continue to lurk or chat if you want to as well. Open to everything, open to conversation, open to talking about any events you end up talking about as well. But did any of anything interesting and exciting happen with the characters that you managed to pick in Bannerblade? We have advertisements going, so obviously in a game like this it doesn't matter either, but during the advertisements I put them on in order to ensure that no one ends up missing anyone. Aww. Yep, did work for me. Fair enough. Cool. Although that doesn't... So yeah, advertisements are finished there, so everyone should be back. And we'll see how things end up going from here. But I'm guessing the dog is still active and the whole lot. The age is a horrible thing, unfortunately. Especially when it comes down to animals. Like, it's depressing when it ends up coming to the point where you need to make that type of decision. She was a rescue pupper that needed heart surgery to survive a couple of years ago. Adopted and paid, and now she's 8 years deep into life. Happy out. And congratulations to you for having the empathy and brilliance to end up doing that as well. I have the height of respect for anyone that does that. It's not for everyone, because like, you don't think about the amount of extra stuff you need to do when you're working for a rescue like that. So congratulations to you for doing that, Amanda. Feel proud that you've done that. By the way, I gave a shout out to both of them there, Dolphin and Izzy. Definitely give them a look. They're two fantastic streamers as well. They definitely deserve it. Why? He's been playing fairly well whenever he's gotten time.
I'm steady swimming on the safe side. Say your life a movie, but I'd
Oh, for fuck's sake.
all of my accomplishments will fade off in the gray sky.
Oh, Christ. I have no problem playing you. You get tired so bloody much.
Bank account, tell me that this decade of my 20s is a major route. Am I flying passively on autopilot, normal child? I take the pencil and jot a rhyme on the instrumental. Now under pressure, my writing process is slow and gentle.
Like, I honestly give him the option. Like, it's just that he's been tired. I have no problem playing him. None whatsoever. But he's been tired. I whinge now that I won't be able to play him on some games because he's just going to get wrecked. Sometimes they're just the biggest whinge bags in the world. Ah, they're back to old form. Well, they're definitely weaker than last season, so that's nice to see. They're definitely weaker than last season. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so they have Atletico Paloma, so they could end up dropping points here. I don't foresee it. I think we should be grand anyway. Las Palmas are not that strong of a squad. We should be good against them, thankfully. She eats like a queen, gets steak most nights, salmon, she lives good. Damn. The luck of some people. I was on steak for a while until the price started becoming unacceptable here in Ireland. At one point in time, I went out for steak in one of the spots here in Ireland, and the price of the steak was 40 euro. The vitriol I had at that moment in time can't be described with words, to be honest. Oh, Benny, you've no idea. The level of spite and anger and vitriol that came across me in that moment of time was atrocious. Like I could have, like, it's not on the business. The business is doing what it's doing. It knows, but like, it's just, it's not acceptable. It's genuinely not acceptable. Egregious, yeah. It was a sirloin, yeah. Carrot the cow. Oh, that's funny. Although, ironically enough, when it comes down to the tariffs, he actually avoided hitting the big Irish thing. He didn't hit the medical trade as hard as he could have, the orange carrot. But I'm not talking about politics. I don't know enough. I'm not an economist. But yeah, no, like, to be fair, it's rare you end up seeing that it's that bad. But yeah, 40 quid for it. Typically now, if you were to go out, the price of a steak in Ireland is about 30 euro. Still too much. Because you can go down to your local bloody supermarket like Aldi or Lidl or something like that, and you'll end up getting 2 pieces of beef medallion. Or if you wanted to spend it on the one sirloin for about 8 to 10 quid. Then just come home and cook it yourself. I actually don't mind cooking. My biggest problem with cooking has always been the cleanup. Unfortunately, I absolutely despise the cleanup of cooking. Really? Right, in we go now. Let's see how we do. Las Palmas shouldn't be that big of a challenge. We should end up vanquishing them with relative ease, thankfully. We're playing a stronger backline than we did in the last game against a worse opposition. We're putting Ymir up front, who's been performing fairly good. I mean, yeah. I see, to be... Whether or not this is good or bad, I couldn't tell you. I tend to cook everything simultaneously, and as a result of which, all segments of whatever I end up cooking finish up at the same point in time. So, like, I'll finish the rice, the sauce, the chicken. If I'm eating steak, I'll have the steak, the eggs, the French fries, the mushrooms. Everything will be finished at the same time to have an attempt at equidistancing heat. In order to make sure that's the most enjoyable way possible, which means you just have a big pan of shite in order to clean at the end. But I understand the principle of what you're on about there. I still have to get used to the idea of resting food, something I never really did. I was always of the opinion, or always taught young, that you need to eat while it's hot. You have been in this stream before, Amanda. You think I live non-chaotically? Bend It Like Beckham Simulator was the first game. What? In the Spanish Villa League. Bend It Like Beckham Simulator. I mean, that's a fantastic movie, but I don't really get the reference you're going for there, my friend. Duck. I usually wash my stuff while the steak rests. It's perfect to eat by the time I'm done. Well, that's perfect. Yeah. As I said, it's the thing I need to get better at, resting my actual food. By the way, Benny, did you end up getting that image? Because I distinctively notice that you said you left it in your Discord, but you've also failed to put it into attacking the food after mentioning the nice meal you ended up having later on. So you goddamn tease. I know I have access to your Discord, so I can go and view it, but that doesn't help the rest of the people now, does it?
So pretentious, thought I had it in the bag. As I grew up, I didn't even know that half was a hard knock, cause I've been used to moving fast. Learn it's not no strings attached, but instead no holding back. Like, okay, try to open up. Couldn't be a single reason why.
Okay, well, we're performing grand here. But we should be better. We should be better than this with the team that we have on the page. Just free kick from distance. We hit the woodwork like 3 times. The joys of that, hitting the woodwork. Yeah, there was a number of streams here. I think you were part of them, Duck, where we ended up playing back during the first seasons that we ended up having when we were with Palace. What a goal! What a goal! I mean, Burke was whinging that he wasn't getting played enough. I guess that's one way to prove you should be played more. What a goal! What would that be? Would that be 30 yards out? Anyway, and in that game, we played about 8 games. We stayed up for about 8 hours, played about 8 games, and every single game we hit all 3 bits of the wood. All 3 bits, all the left, the right, and the top. We hit all 3 of them in all of the games. It was astonishing. Astonishing. I can go back and show you the bloody results that we ended up having because we drew 6 of the 8 games. There's nothing more off-putting of a meal than when you burn your mouth on the first bite, so after bad lessons, I let the food cool for a couple of minutes. I mean, yeah, it's happened to me a few too many times as well. One of the big things here in Ireland, although again they're pricing it out a bit, is especially if you're in college and you can afford it, is a chicken fillet roll, where they literally just get a regular fucking breaded piece of chicken and slice it up and put it into just a regular like roll. I would say brioche, but most of the time it isn't. But oftentimes they'll toast that. They'll put it into the toaster. And the thing is, it's like it has been engulfed by fucking magma. It hits that level of heat. Because effectively, the toaster they end up putting it in is in a conventional oven that's a microwave. So it just comes out and burns the living shit out of you. But it is divine. Fucking divine. Unfortunately, also calorific as hell. So it's another thing that'll end up doing it. Yeah. When you're over here, Benny, obviously go and have one of them again. But additional to that, something that is incredibly underrated that an awful lot of people don't talk about is we have Subway over here as well. But the Subway uses Irish meat in its meatball marinara. So, like, obviously, meatball marinara is incredibly popular in Subway. Over here, it uses actually good quality meat. So, like, the sauce and the whole lot goes with actual quality meat. So, it increases the taste of that as well. Yeah, some mayo on it as well. It does make it really, really nice. Sorry, Benny. I'm a child. God damn it, not Jude. Where's Kang Lee? There. Do the last one in case an injury happens. I mean, I don't blame you for that. Like, mayonnaise isn't for everyone. I'm not a massive fan of it either, unfortunately. There's a concoction that is big over here in Ireland. It's basically just a pink sauce, which is just mayonnaise mixed with tomato ketchup. But it's gorgeous over here, and an awful lot of people end up loving it. I'm not a fan of it now myself, but an awful lot of people just do that. Ketchup mixed with mayo into a pinkish sauce. Put that on top of a burger, and an awful lot of people enjoy that. Hold the phone. Just after reading that comment, Amanda, I was also burted on French fries and mayo. I would ask to expand, but I'm a bit worried on what the hell that means. I once had someone buy me 20 quid Subway. I was polite and ate it, but fuck me, it was overrated manure. I've never been since. I mean, we call it, because of the establishment we typically end up getting it at, we just end up calling it pink sauce or Big Four sauce or Supermax sauce, or it is a specialized sauce of the place that we end up going to, because everyone ends up using different brands of the ketchup and mayonnaise in order to ensure that it has a different taste. So, you know. But yeah, and I can agree on that. Supermax is way too expensive. You also can't get a traditional sandwich in the goddamn thing, which I find hilarious, to be honest. Oh, okay. Because the first thing that came to my mind is that your mother went into labor in an incredibly awkward situation. But I can understand, yeah. Oh, God. Heinz, you poor fucker. He's improved, thankfully. There was a period of time where he wasn't going to be that good, but like getting injured there, unfortunate. Our next game is United. Ooh. United versus Real Madrid. The Battle of Craic and Michael Carrick. Atletico Madrid ended up getting the win there as well. So once again, Atletico Madrid are gone up top. Can you explain this to me again? Because I forget how this works. Why is it that Atletico Madrid are first when the goal difference is like this? I think you described it to me once, but I can't remember what it was. I think it's because we've more goals scored against us, is it? Rules. 3 points, number of teams 20, 38 games, first, second, third. Just like that. Fifth, 5 subs, 3 stoppages, maximum of 12 subs, no trials. There, TV, technological VAR, done like that. 1 yellow like that. Here's advanced. That. Violated conduct. 5 matches striking another player. 12 matches striking a match official. I've never seen that happen. I kind of want to see that happen, even though I'd hate it to be one of my players. Minimum 1,500. Terse is not permitted in stadiums. Period of 2 years to fix it. Minimum wage of that for registered players. Use league scoring rules. Goal difference and score. Just skipped over it. Okay, so let's see. League scoring rules. So points there. Match rules. Competition rules. Trials. Eligibility. Contact worlds. VAR. Match officials. Transfer rules. On the right, underneath qualification. Ah, okay. Result between teams. Oh, it's because they bet us. Fuck. Yep. You'd mentioned that before. Damn it. So that means we have to beat them the next time we end up going. The next time we end up having to. The next time we end up going against them. We have to get a win versus them the next time is basically what that ends up meaning. That is unfortunate. I mean, yes, that's the ultimate goal, yeah. Smart arse. It's a weird rule that they end up putting that in place. Was from before even second match engine was a thing, when the engine was commentary only. Really? Interesting. Where is he? Villarreal. It's Julian Gelsman there, fair enough. Casemiro warns about Hoyland. Funny that. Funny he warns about one of the best strikers in the world. Yeah, but this isn't specifically goal difference. I have 40 goals to their 16, and because I lost to them once, they'd technically end up winning the league if it was the end of the league now. Which I don't agree with, to be honest. Oh god, no, Amanda. Who knows, maybe that's where I'll end up going next. Wait, does Jason have a... He does, so never mind. He's an extension, so we'll end up focusing on that the year after this. Or if I end up leaving, we'll end up doing it to someone else. I was half tempted to say I'm a better manager. The Gelsman there as well against Villarreal. He's bound to get sacked soon with our 15th. We'll look at it in a second, see what the rules are if it ends up coming up for me. I don't have the Belgian league as a playable league at the moment, I don't think. So we'll see. I love this too. He's not technically signed to them, but because of the rivalry, he won't come. The Belgian league is a cluster of nonsense. It's why, although Bruges was my local club, I never paid no mind to the league. San Marino League and FM17 is bat. Why? Go on, expand on that one, Duck. Why was that bat? Why was that batty? Also, that's one of the things that's really annoying about it. I didn't know about this either. I only recently found out about it, that you can't buy any of the previous FM games. Which means I don't care. If you stop me from buying your goddamn game, I'll sail the ocean blue in order to play it. But at the same point in time, like, considering you have it and you know what ends up happening in it, why is that so insane, Duck? Really? A draw versus them? I was wondering. That was bound to happen. How? Because it's not on... It's not on Steam. It's delisted from Steam. So do a Nintendo on it. Spend the 90 quid to buy the fucker. God, that's a joke. €90 for the new Nintendo games. In case you didn't know, that's the new price of some of the Nintendo games. To be fair, the 90 quid games are only the games that they're only the games that are in physical condition. You can buy the games in the regular condition as well, which as a digital edition, which doesn't cost the 90 quid. But crikey, is that an atrocious deal? No, what's the other thing? What's the other thing, Benny? So this is the thing with Burke. He's tired there, so I shouldn't end up playing him as a result of it. Yet he'd whinge that I didn't end up playing him because of the bloody promise. Japanese language only switches. Japanese language only switches, which are obviously released only in Japan. Yeah, of course. One more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, they're Japanese. Yeah, doesn't surprise me that they made it cheaper for Japan, but yeah. But my big thing is, I wonder now people will, because people are schmucks, but I actually am curious if people will end up buying the games, but we'll see. Like, to be fair to them, it was incredibly smart of them to basically make Bloodborne 2 and sell it exclusively on the Switch. I do find it incredibly funny that people have done from the Godzilla movie the meme of look, it's Bloodborne 2, but for copyright reasons and effectively it is the Bloodkin. Oh, but we should act like it is Bloodborne 2. Yes, but it isn't. You know. Why would it be your last act as a mod, Duck? Besides, leave it until the next stream, because unfortunately, as you've probably wondered why I'm stalled here, it's time for me to end up finishing up. So I'm going to look and see if there's anyone to raid at the moment, and send you over to them. Considering he ended up giving us a raid not too long ago, we'll send you over to the boss. So, with that being said, I mean, I can send you over to GB 32FM if you want. Yeah, yeah, because I've raided boss twice in the last 30 days. So yeah, that makes sense. 45 in added time. So yeah, I'll send you over to GB32FM. Since you recommended it there, Doc. So thank you everyone for coming in. For the chats and the good times. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for Simus and the rest of his stream for coming in to it as well. I appreciate it more than you know. Until the next time, it was a pleasure to have you. Remember to make sure that your crack is 90. Not 45, but 90, my friends. Shlán go fóill. And of course, for one last time for tonight, Póg Mahone. Good night, my friends.